For the children of Israel shall sit solitary many days without king or prince, without sacrifice. Without pillar, without ephod, without teraphim. Afterwards shall the children of Israel return, seek the Creator, and David their king, and shall come trembling unto HaWah, Halal HaWah, into his goodness in the end of days. And we've seen a lot of stuff in the news, man. My prayers go out to my Nagas in Maui. You know what I'm saying? My prayers go out to my Nagas in the streets. It's hard, it's difficult. The terrain we navigating, it takes the best of us to be here doing it, man. So when you look in the mirror, know that HaWah has sent the best of us, man, and you represent that. Drop Nation. I call you Drop Nation because you got the drop. You got the drop. You got the purified substance. The drop is when all that pressure been put on you, man. Like in alchemy, man, they, put the pressure on it, man, to form a unknown substance. And the dragon is the unknown substance, and you do got the drop. You got that water. You got that MEMO600, man. Yourself, take the wheel. You are returning. So I just want to highlight, you know what I'm saying? I mean, just what feels good. You know what I mean? We know it's a stage being played out and we don't know who's who and what's what, but this frequency right here, I'm about to highlight, man. This is your feel good frequency up moment of the day, man. Or night. But I've been paying attention to my Nagas in the Chi, man. Shout out to my Chi-town Nagas, man. Chicago Nagas and my Chicago Nagas, man. I mean, they some real ones, for real. Just like my St. Louis Nagas. Just like my Memphis Nagas, right? My Detroit Nagas. New York Nagas. Cali Nagas, right? Georgia Nagas. I see you. Arkansas Nagas. I'm with you. Carolina Nagas. We all the way up. Texas Nagas to Texas. We up, man. All my Nagas, we up. Alabama Nagas, Mississippi Nagas. We up, man, right? We up. So I want to highlight, I'm going to start doing this more because when you look at, especially, being out here in LA, when we look at, gang banging and street culture and different things like that, you're looking at damn near the worst, you know what I'm saying? The worst version of what it was created to be, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't created to be where we turning on each other and not being able to trust our brother was not why any of these organizations was so-called created. And, we can get into, created by who and, who was working with what. And, was it doomed from the start? Was the creation of the Bloods and the Cribs doomed from the start? You know what I'm saying? Was it a setup? You know what I'm saying? From the start, just a division, yada, yada, or did it all start righteously? I mean, that's for investigation, we're talking about Chicago. So, whether they GD, BD, you know what I mean? MC, you know what I mean? It's like, was it doomed from the beginning back to the King David flow? You know what I'm saying? Back to the whole history of why Nagas had to come together, in the beginning. I mean, it's kind of like the hijack. It's a very important question, even if you think you know the answer. Because the hijack is always playing chess. And if you look at the Black Panther Party and all the COINTELPRO, all the activity, all the hijack activity, brothers turning on brothers, and, the split between the East Coast and the West Coast Black Panther parties and stuff like that. I mean, it was always a dichotomy, but remember, to slay the dragon, they have to use the Cadmus, and the Cadmus is the creation of opposites. The coming together of opposites can slay the dragon. So they can't let the Black Panther Party just be a single entity. It has to be divided. Like the civil rights situation, and Malcolm X over here, Martin Luther King over here, Christian over here, Muslim over here. Blood over here, Crip over here, GD over here, BD over here. It has to be a coming together of opposites. And this slays the dragon because now you can't see. You can't see your enemy. You're not aware. You don't see clearly. So the hijacking now, pity pat, skibbity pat, all on your head bone, and you don't see the punches coming. You can't see clearly, boss. Yeah, you're conscious, but you're not aware. And for a long time, we ain't even been that, man. We ain't even been conscious, but now we are returning, man, and popping off. Shout out to J Main and King Yella, man, and Rooga, man, and you know what I'm saying, Kiddo, man, 051 Kiddo, man. Shout out to all my Nagas, all my Nagas, you know what I'm saying? Just rest in power to all the kings, all the queens, you know what I'm saying, that we lost in the bloodshed, right? And we got to say it for what it is, whether we're talking LA Bloods and Crips or Chicago GDBD or anywhere else, you know what I'm saying, in New York, everywhere is on the same so-called demon time, because you got to be slaying your brother and sister. We got to be on demon time. There's no other way to say it, man. And for a minute, it seemed cool. It seemed like making it cool was the thing to do. Make it cool to drill, right? And, I got A-Hop for all versions of hip hop, even the good, the bad, what we call the ugly, of promoting the worst of us, the worst in us, right? The worst type of violence, lurking and sliding and you know what I'm saying, creeping for the killing. That's not us returning. Keeping score, points, and all this stuff, man, as if we just are playing a video game. That's not us returning. And hey, man, who am I, man? I'm just a Naga with a dream, right? We just cons with a dream, but I've had an interesting vantage point, growing up on the energy, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes you see the love and sometimes you see the worst, right? We have to be responsible and take accountability for the worst. We can't be so Israelite. We can't be so conscious. We can't be so aware. We talking Prester John. We talking flat drop 101 cities ago. We can't be, even though all these topics are topics that all my Nagas like to talk about, no matter how old you are or whatever it is, young, old, everybody likes talking about some of this stuff, right? So we got a very diverse group and drop nation that really, chime in for the drop, you know what I'm saying? Catch the drop and really add to it, because y'all give so much drop, you know what I'm saying? So many links, y'all add to the investigation so much. I'm just saying, my Naga, we can't be popping off so much that we don't take the time to really put our ear to it, you know what I'm saying? If anything, just listen. Because the young cons, to me, even in the drill, I can't get mad at it if it's real. And one thing I'm gonna say about drill is that it's real. They ain't, playing, right? We know they mean every single word they say, and that's really what hip hop is. It's real now. It could be real ugly, and we got to take responsibility for the ugly, not just our ancestors taking responsibility, but we got to take responsibility. We got to take accountability. So, man, right here at the drop, man, I just want to make sure we are touching down, you know what I'm saying, with the cons, even on that type of time, you know what I mean? And just, I want to let you know that we listening to you, and maybe we ain't getting it as raw and uncut as we can get it. And that's what we got to work on, so that we got to open communication to my Nagas on the front lines, in any type of situation, in any type of street, in any type of, especially my Nagas behind the wall. We definitely got to form some, beautiful, hijack free connection with my Nagas, locked up, you know what I'm saying, in the feds or the state or anything, man, county, anything. We got to make sure we able to, push some type of frequency for my Nagas. They can get some 432, you know what I'm saying? We got to take the accountability of my Naga and always just check in. And, I'm 43, so I ain't in the trenches and doing all this with Nagas that's 16, 17. It's no way that, you know what I'm saying, we're going to, you know, necessarily, know the same things and, about whatever the case is. I've been where I've been, though. You know what I'm saying? I've seen what I've seen. You know what I mean? And I'm here, man, just as an example, like, just keeping the water flowing. You just never know. You know what I'm saying? What wave you gonna catch? You know what I'm saying? I didn't predict none of this that's going on right now. You know what I'm saying? This is just a wave, and I'm like, yo, we really gotta surf the wave, and it's beautiful. And we extend our wave to my Nagas in the trenches, young in the trenches, little homies in the trenches, big homies in the trenches. We extend our wave to the trenches because that's where we at. If that's the worst, my Naga, from all the transgression, from our transgression, we seeing the residual, and it's like it's ugly because the killing is, and the code and the out of orderness. We didn't even got to talk to them about commandments and biblical Bible anything. They know the out of codeness is happening, even with the snitching and all that stuff, because we got bearing false witness in the code. See, the street code ain't no different than the commandments or the code of HaWah, what we call the 9 code, because we spiral up. You just got to see clearly, You ain't about to be breaking in nobody's house in the street and not be dealt with by the neighbors. You know what I'm saying? Don't kill, don't steal. That's in our code. So us keeping points and all this is against any of our codes, man. We just made it, acceptable. And then they made it cool, right? And gangsters what it's supposed to, that's the image what you're supposed to be now. Gotta be a gangster. Gotta be hard. I think the hardest you can be is popping off on your land with your dragon, man. That's the hardest you could be. So how can killing each other be the hardest you're gonna get? So as hard as you are in the street, keeping score, my Naga, my young Nagas, man, especially, know that you can get even harder. You know what I mean? Being on your land, the head and not the tail, and the way we do that is to unite. So anybody talking unity, I'm gonna tune in. I'm at least, you know what I'm saying, give it my own, understanding, man. And, if it's, something that, even if these bros ain't sincere about it, which I think they are, I really think Nagas is, we about to listen to them right now. I think they sincere, man. But even if they ain't, so you ain't got to judge their sincerity. First thing we like to do is just knock each other down as soon as we start talking something that seems unattainable, man. But even if they ain't sincere, I believe the wave is still spreading, man. And the wave is what it is. It's unity. It's 432. And I'm seeing it without them having to mention anything about 432. But I'm just seeing it in the way that they're spiraling in this conversation. I just want to share with y'all and highlight it. And I'm going to keep checking in the trenches, man, because if that's what if we going to grow, if we going to turn this up, you know what I'm saying? Like my bro J Bain said, if we going to bug up, then we got to do it together. We got to start right here in the trenches with the young homies, man. And we got to understand, order, man. What's order? That you will return. What's the order? That you're going to seek the Creator first. You're not putting nothing in between you and HaWah, our breath, our security. You're not putting nothing in between that. Not David, not JC, not Muhammad, nothing comes in between you and the Creator, man. It's that simple. Hit the easy button, Con. It's that simple. No cap on my number 2 pencil. No cap on my number 2 pencil. Hit the easy button, my Naga. Seek the Creator. That's a sign of you returning. How do you seek the Creator? You keep the code. To seek, to return, to seek means you are desiring again. You are desiring HaWah, the guidance, the ahab, the frequency. You're plugging back into your source. How do you seek HaWah? You keep the code. Exodus 20 got us in code. Naga, you perfect. You ain't perfect. Just stop trampling the law, the code, and that will develop the unity we're talking about. That gives us a code beyond, the origin of GD or BD, beyond blood and crip, beyond all this stuff. The code is the creator's code. You don't have to keep making your own codes and all your variations of it. Your code, your OG code is the code of the creator, because without that, you ain't got no land, man. You ain't got no shepherd. And without David, my nigga, you ain't got no MEMO600. You know what I'm saying? David's trying to connect you to the water. But first, you got to go through the creator. See, in Christianity, you got to go through the Son to get to the Father. You got to go through a hijack to get to the creator. They put something, if you don't know the Son, you ain't gonna know the Father. Damn. See, in your real consciousness, you seek the creator directly. You seek the creator first. There's no question about it. We're not debating about it. We're not praying in the name of no one else. We'll never pray in the name of no one else. We will always be most high over everything. That's our covenant. That's what you can count on. You know what I mean? I ain't got to be your best friend. We ain't got to be this. We ain't got to see eye to eye about that. But what you can count on is that I ain't going to be hijacked, my dog, because ain't nothing coming in between me and the creator. No frequency that I look up to or praise will ever come. And that develops a trust. Now you can, at least lean on a true Ak, a true brother, Aqua, you know what I mean? Without them bringing you no hijack. That feels good, man, because, it's a bumpy road out here. We got to fly. We can't be driving on this road. We need a Dracon coon. We got to fly above all this hijack, man. We got to fly. So we got to soar above it, man. Frequency up, cool. Spiral up. We in code. So you returning, and I believe these bros right here are returning, and the frequency they kicking, it's comical, it's funny, it's all that, it's entertainment. J Main always say, I'm in skip mode, and he gets in and out of skip mode. It's just we got a lot of natural talent, man. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you got to be talented like this to even get their attention. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm gonna say about it, man. Fair use is your caboose, man. Fair use, fair use. We're gonna look at this clip on King Yella's page, man. So A-Hop to King Yella, doing a lot for the community out in Chicago, man. And I just want to highlight it, just let Nagas know that, we are paying attention, you know what I'm saying? Cons that are, striving to, just extend and expand our awareness, man, of, who we are, you know what I mean? Like, we're just extending and expanding the water that we surfing in, man. And, just know that along our path in this investigation, we're highlighting you, man. We could be talking about, cities of gold, man. But we're talking about y'all, man, for a reason, because without my Nagas, this is all for nothing, man. So you got a home right here. Drop Nation, your home. You know what I mean? So let's go. Section 107, man. Fair use and a caboose bone criticisms. Yeah, man, maybe. Maybe we're just going to fall back. Comments, of course, of course. Teaching, only if it's a teachable moment. News reporting, I don't work for the news. Scholarship, maybe we'll start giving out some scholarships. But, we're going to try to do some scholarship and some research. No, we just call that recon. We call that recon. Let's go, man. We in there. Oh, yeah, and also shout out everybody from Chicago who also covered this as well, man. So I want to get the AI. I'm picking it up right here, belly flopping, King Yella, Rooga, J May, and they on with the 051 Kiddo. And if you know any history about that and all this, what they into, this conversation alone, for them to even be linking up at all, says a lot. These aren't no studio, pranksters, you know what I'm saying? These are real ones. And, this conversation is a big deal. So they gonna say, man, even if we can't get on the same page, just this alone says a lot, man. And we could at least use the internet for that, because it might have been way more difficult to get them in person, but they can get on, what I'm saying, and have some type of group situation, some chat, you know what I mean, and stream it and do a live stream and do it that way too. So I think they're just really being creative on how they are pushing unity, what they call pushing peace, man. I'm talking about the covenant of Shalawam, and I think it's all happening. Let's go.
We got homework. All right, since we all pushing peace, can we do something in Chicago they never seen in Chicago, bro? Can we get some fucking money, bro? All right, we get money, bro. Hey, J man, so what can we start here? Can we do what they did back in the day? Since you got it going, let's make a song. Let's make a song where we got everybody from every different hood on that motherfucker. Hey, that's what they said we gotta put together, bro. I'm serious. Hold up. That ain't gonna work. Hold on, y'all. Hey, Kiddo, you gotta be with these moves, bro. You ain't gotta see nobody. You ain't gotta do all you gotta do is put your verse on that, Kiddo. All you gotta do is put your verse on the whoop, bro. This right here gonna be, this shit bigger than us. Put your verse on the whoop, man. Come on, Kiddo. This shit bigger than us. We trying to do royalties. Who all on that? Who all on that? You pay Savage. Let's start down. That ain't gonna work. Bro, you owe. What you owe, G? I don't know what the fuck every time you on, gang. Oh, we have to start that, kiddo. We can't start nowhere else. It's different. No, that ain't. We have to go back. We gotta go back to the beginning of the hoop. From all this shit, bro. It's different. All that shit don't hit different, man. That shit don't hit different, brother. We got, kiddo. If I ain't never needed you before, I need you right now, gang. It hit different. Come on. You knew me since I was a shorty. You know I don't even play like that, bro. It hit different. That's why I'm telling you. I know how you come, bro. It hit different. Mama said it was time for a change in 08. I need you right now, kiddo. On phone them grade. This ain't no whoop. You say J man be doing skits, folks. This J man out of skit mode. I need you on this, folks. It hit different. We need you. Good.
So he just came out of skit mode, but shout out J man, and he really pleading, man, and put it out there like, yo, it's bigger than us. It's bigger than the whoop. It hit different. It's bigger than the whoop. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than our beef. It's bigger than all that. And, man, you can't tell no brother, man, that's lost, who he's lost and is tied into what he's tied into to change overnight. And, I don't think they're asking for all that, but they just say, man, let's make a start, man. Let's put it on the track. You know what I mean? And just let them know, like, unity's possible. You're going to have Nagas that's going to be like, nah, man, I'm on that time. I'm happily on that time, and I'm on that time. But it will affect, the next generation. You know what I'm saying? To see real ones standing on it, not acting like it's corny or it's goofy to talk about peace. It's not a goofy thing to talk about peace, man. Now you talking about the code when you talk about Shalawam with your ox, with your brothers. Like you said, man, you knew me since I was a kid, man. Like they've known each other forever. They might be on opposite sides of the tracks, or really in Chicago, it's not just GD versus BD, it's just cliques, you know what I'm saying? Like you could have, a group of Nagas that's both BD and GD, just like in LA, with certain blood hoods that get along with Crip hoods better than Crip hoods get along with Crip hoods, or blood on blood. So it's a lot of politics, man. And I don't know them all. I know very little. But what I do know is that it's time for a change, man. And I sense that they sense it where it hurts, like, what I'm saying, where it hurts the most. And not everybody gonna be on it at first. That's the whole point of a beginning, you know what I mean? But after a while, even this young Ak right here, man, shout out to the Kiddo, man. Even he gonna see it, because shit might get so bad that they gonna have to really need each other for real. Just like, when, niggas get locked up. When niggas got locked up it ain't all in politics you gonna bring, man, because you gonna have to link up against a bigger opponent. You know what I'm saying, or something else. You know what I mean? So yeah, you can do your squabbles, and that's what you got to do. But you ain't gonna be permanently beefing from neighborhood to neighborhood behind the wall like that. Things gonna get worked out, and that's that. You know what I'm saying? So I need to remind my Nagas that you still behind the wall, even if you don't know you behind the wall. We still under invasion. We behind enemy lines because they pushed the line like that. We are the bastards of the party, right? The party was just a reminder of the Chickamauga, of the same Indian wars. We got spread out, we got divided. Y'all Nagas got divided, building by building by building. Nagas out in LA got divided, just sectioned off like that. Like, we didn't do the sectioning. We're living out somebody else's fantasy. Nagas killing Nagas, Nagas being out of code. We're doing the work for them, right? And we know it, but we just turned up on that time. Not trying to really understand why we on that time. And while we're on that time, what's happening, man? What time is it? Because your time ain't even reality. What's what, what what's really the time, man? What time is it really, man? And that's when you become aware, man. What is time, man? Does time exist, man? Hey, I love to see the unity, man, and these Nagas need each other. That's why they pleading like this. And like I said, even if this could be a puppet show, I still believe that somebody's gonna catch this wave that can make a difference. And it could be the most, you know, um, abstract situation that you don't even think is even the case. It could be a Naga really on that time. That's not on no live, that nobody ever heard their name, but just, you know, be surfing a wave and Drop Nation and say, oh man, Drop's talking some Chicago shit. Let me tune in, man. We Drop talking some Chicago shit. And then he get this, man, he's like, man, I'm really on that time though. But I'ma switch my stuff up. And he make a decision, make a couple calls, and he start his own unity movement. Like, this ain't gotta be the only unity movement. Naga's pushing peace, but they could really spark Naga's on that time on in the front lines to really push that same peace. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm pushing it. That's why I'm seeing what they're doing, and I wanna magnify it, man, because I want to make sure the Nagas that need to hear this, need to get it, and are truly on the front lines and capable of really bringing stuff together, man. Whether we're talking Chicago, whether we're talking LA, whether we're talking Vegas, Washington, Oregon, like anywhere, my Naga. Push peace in your neighborhood. You ain't goofy, you ain't corny, and you ain't weak. It's weak to be out of code, obviously, right? Because we became the tail and not the head. We've gotten weakened without our creator, without our source, out of code, divided. And we all know it. This is weak. Peace between your brothers is not weak. That's strong, man. That's strong as an ox, man. we on the left flow right now. Strong power. Strong power. That's strength. Unity. And you know it. Don't let that burning sensation in your chest to keep you know, revolving cycle going or satisfying somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Don't let that block out common sense, man. We dying. And they moving on us, right? They moving on us. And we need you. We need you. We need you. You know what I'm saying? So, Halal HaWah, that's all we up, man. I mean, maybe if that's the message you needed to hear, homie in the back of the class, then push peace, man. Push Shalawam, man. That's the purpose. You know what I'm saying? And that means uniting with your enemies. That means getting over the hurt, getting over the pain, being a strong man, strong woman. Cause we got some sisters in the trenches too. Man, Drop loves you, man. We love you. This is why we doing it, man. Let's go.
The kids, the youth need you, bro. We got, bro, y'all think just Chicago on this bitch. We got the world looking at this. Right?
See? Here we go.
Real shit, though, bro. You talking real shit, Jay, man. Don't got it. I don't think he's whooping right now. He whoop. You know when he whooping, he not whooping. I know when he whooping because his eye do some shit. Do some different shit. He's serious like motherfucker. Nah, it's time to get this shit together, folks. On the guys, it's time to get this shit together on phone number. We found what we there that need to be on phone number. Everybody got their emotion going on phone number. It's time to put this shit together on phone number, make this shit a power move on phone number. I just got off the phone with the Muslims. They want to go on 63rd and pray. It hit different. This what I'm saying. I got my own way though, but yeah, you got your own whoop, bro. I'm not. Look, it's a lot of decisions. It's a lot of decisions. Listen. It's a lot of decisions that I could have made since I've been home, but I got my own way. I'm not doing nothing that I don't supposed to be doing with others. That's just how that shit go. Now look, when you y'all ain't no wrong with pushing beats though. Look, but I'm not doing what you don't supposed to be doing. Put it like this: you supposed to be making money, bro. Your family supposed to have millions because you in a position to. That's okay. Catch my drift. Look, that's okay. I'm gonna make money regardless. I got my own way, bro. Now I don't gotta make money doing this with any and everybody. That's you, brother. You.
And I want to say this, man, to the Kiddo who's talking right now. I feel you. I feel that too. I want to highlight that point too. You don't gotta work with everybody or break bread with everybody just to push peace. So whatever they talking about, they need to diversify. Like, all right, so it ain't gotta be a song. Like, how else can we do this? You know what I'm saying? Can we do this at all in any type of form or fashion? You know what I'm saying? It could be anything. You know what I'm saying? So don't get stuck just on a song and he has to work with Tay Savage, who he clearly, you know, has history with. You know what I'm saying? So he ain't gonna do it with that kind, right? Maybe that's too much. But he can still work with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So just keep your hearts open, man. That's all I'm gonna say. But I do get that point, and we gotta just put that out. Just putting all our contemplation on this, man. He might just want to be low key. Speaking of the bro kiddo, like he might just want to say, "Hey, man, I don't really know too much about where y'all coming from, so I just want to be, because maybe having everybody on a song just make everybody too hot. Maybe whoever's watching is able to just link everybody up a little too easily, having all the main guys on a song. And like, all right, those are the main guys. Nice. And so I want to look at it like that too. I want to see the street side, and I want to see the peace side, and it has to be, a way to get over the divide, to remove the divide. You know what I'm saying? But I like the energy though. Cool.
Who gonna move? Now, bro. This shit bigger than rap. This shit
bigger than the whoop.
Bigger than the whoop, bro.
Bigger than the whoop.
This shit bigger than this shit bigger than me. No, for real. I don't think people understand the doors that we can open by. Look at Atlanta and shit. All these other cities when they come together and all the money that they city make, for real. You got Gucci and you got Jeezy. They don't fuck with each other at all, right? Motherfuckers done lost their life, right? Them niggas had somebody put a song together. That don't mean they was there together. Then them niggas went and did years later. Niggas went and did sit down and did the cycle shit, rapping together. Everything can end, gang. If it don't end, guess what? Your kids gonna be in it. Your grandkids gonna be in it. It's just gonna be a cycle. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, talking about if it ain't true, it gotta be drillers. You see what I'm saying? It gotta be a motherfucker from Yahweh that can make it make sense. You catch my drift? A motherfucker. We need a Young Money from over there, bro. It hit different. Every side matter, bro. Cause and everybody gotta be somebody with a voice. It gotta be somebody with a voice. Yeah, it hit different. I don't know, man. Hey, no, look though. Mr. 51 did. Look. I'm gonna holler at Mr. 51 did off, right? But I don't think he's gonna agree with it though. You say Mr. 51 did? I mean, he done this the whole Chicago, bro. Look, that's a step. That's a step. Hollering at him. That's a step, man. We can't. Just one thing we can't do is, you know what I'm saying? We can't force it upon a motherfucker if that ain't what they own. You know what I'm saying? But one thing's for sure, two things for certain. Just by us being on here even talking about this shit, that's real shit. You know what I'm saying? And I know bro personally. You know, I've been around folks. Folks a good nigga. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure folks. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, motherfucker. You know, it just takes time, gang. You can't expect this shit to happen overnight. You know what I'm saying? Even if a nigga get on, it ain't overnight, Rooga. People been dying for years, Rooga. I'll blow the fuck up. I'm tired of people dying, Rooga. This ain't overnight. How long y'all want people to keep dying?
Here we go.
You ain't never lying. Hey, niggas tired of this shit. I've been tired of it. Facts. Yeah. Y'all over-whooping. Now motherfuckers don't know who doing the shooting, bro. They don't know, bro. Motherfuckers just dying, bro. It ain't different. Now, certain of us ain't even in Iraq no more. So it ain't different. But I'm speaking for the motherfuckers who still in the city, bro. Cause I still get these phone calls, bro. Motherfuckers still calling my phone, bro. Motherfuckers still ain't eating right, bro. I'm trying to bring money to the city, bro. We gotta bring money to the community, cause at the end of the day, it's not us no more. It's the niggas that's still stuck in there. I'm gonna keep it real, shorty. It's these shorties, you feel me? And think about it. Hold up. Think about this. These shorties look up to us that started this shit around 2011, 2012. If they see us really going forward with this shit, what the fuck they gonna do? They gonna fall right in the fucking line. They gonna fall right in line cause they look.
There you go. I like that that point right there, man. Cause you know this bro may or might not ever want to change. You know what I'm saying? And whoever might not ever want to change, and you can't force no one to make a change when you ready to change. Nothing like that. Everyone's wave and how they catch it is different, man. That's how we function right here. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody over here overseeing how anybody keeping the code. We just know that common sense, you gonna wanna tune up and tune up and tune up and because you want to catch the frequency, you want to see clearly, you want to hear clearly, man. You know what I mean? It's either you want it or you don't. It's like a great dessert. You know what I'm saying? You want it or you don't. It's right here. Keeping the code is like a fresh dessert, man. You know what I'm saying? It's sweet. You know, uh, it can really bring your mood up. Try to use my dessert references. It can really lighten the mood to have a nice dessert. It can lighten the mood to keep the cold, man, because things change. You're talking energy, frequency, vibration. If anything else, energy is real, right? So the way this code works is when you stop killing each other as a tribe, good things happen to you as a tribe. Good things will start happening to our people. We stop jacking each other, you know what I'm saying? We stop bearing false witness on each other, stop all the jealousy and covetous and get that out of our heart ball. Good things, more Baruch, more blessings happen. By default, it's what's programmed into the code. You get land back. Everything happens for the good. So when he's talking about the kids, it's shouties. That's all it's about. If you don't get that by now, man, it's about the youth. It's about the children. The wave they pushing right now, I think likely will spark for the youngest ones, man. The ones that could have been even worse than these Nagas. And these young ones, man, would have realized at an early time that it's cool, man, to push Shalawam. It's cool to push truth, and it's cool to vibrate with unity. And that they're gonna make it cool. When you thought it was gonna get worse and worse, one day it just gets better just like that. Because you return, right? Because we return. I'm gonna get a little more, man. We just want to highlight these cons making Naga moves in the shot.
They looking up to us, man. Hey, Tula, funny as hell. We the ones that fucked this shit up, man. So at the end of the day, we the ones that fucked it up. We gotta be the ones that patch it up. Hey, look, hey, this is the line that I always say. What niggas be saying, oh, we can't do it. Niggas don't. Hey, gang, when the United States go over there and fight China and all that, when they went over there and fought, God Pushin and all that, right? Niggas, they killed them niggas' sons, they killed them niggas' grandpas, they killed everybody died, right? And at the end of that war, they sat down, right? They sat down at a table. The same way with the mobs, G. Niggas done lost their life, but this a part of this shit, man. If a motherfucker don't sit, if a boss nigga is gonna take a nigga with his head on right, gang, to sit down and stop it. But what we're gonna have to do is everything we do, we're gonna have to pour money into the community. Or motherfuckers gonna continue to do the same shit. Even though half of this shit ain't even about no money. Right now, all us got dead homies, and what really was the cause, man? Was it about the dollar? Hell no. Was none of this shit about no money, nigga? All our homies dead right now over nothing, man. Facts. Probably over some pussy. Pussy probably started from some pussy. School, a little fight, some bullshit. Come on, man. This shit been going on. This shit been going on since high school. Look though, this the fucked up part. You got shorties jumping in this shit. They don't even know who the fuck they warring for. These niggas, niggas who they never even met, who died before they even jumped in the streets.
Big fact.
You know what I'm saying? These shorties don't even know what the fuck they warring for.
I just feel like shit just don't happen overnight, bro.
No, it don't. You right. But look, you know, things gotta start somewhere, gang. Just to even have this conversation with you on this type of shit that's real, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying, folks? We all human at the end of the day, folks. You know damn well at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, this shit was cool and all, but come on, man. We did all of us down there touching 30. Some of us 30. You see what I'm saying? Like Yella, 3. Like Yella on last. But yeah, like I was saying. But nah, for real though, bro. This shit real, bro. Like it's gonna take a lot of pride, putting a lot of pride to the side, bro. That's all it is, a lot of pride. Everybody kind of feel like wondering what they gang gonna think, wondering what other people gonna think about them. How am I gonna look like a bitch ass nigga? Am I gonna look like I'm turning against my gang or going against my guys that died? In reality, gang, it's about these kids, man. Like, be real. The normal father that's in the streets doing this shit can't even take their kids nowhere, bro. Motherfucker can't, like, when I was out there in that shit, no cap, folks, I couldn't take my son nowhere, bro, and I didn't want to. See what I'm saying? I was getting into it with my girl for shit just because of the type of life I was living, and I couldn't be the father that I wanted to be. You feel me? But when I finally got out of that shit, you feel me? I could do shit like take my son for the party. But we trying to make it so the motherfuckers who still out there to do that shit too, you know? Because it ain't even to a point where these niggas scared, they don't give a fuck no more, but these shorties scared. These kids scared. These motherfucking kids can't even go to school. You know what my son said when he went to Chicago? He said, Dad, I don't want to go to Chicago. They be killing people out there. That shit fucked me up to hear my son say some shit like that, bro. For real. They be killing people out there. Man, because it ain't about us. And once you start having kids, gang, I've been had kids, gang. Because my son lived in O Block the whole time. All type of shit was going on, gang. You and your kids, nigga, and my kids fighting in O Block school. What's the school over there? The whole time, gang. Whole time, nigga. And I'm in prison, gang. Coming home, nigga. My son, nigga, I have to fight. You know what I'm saying? You don't know that shit is different when kids telling you that they fighting for you or going through this shit or scared for their life, man. That shit real. All right, this bro. I used to have to my son go on the corner. This is what I'm gonna say though. This how I feel. That's all I'm gonna say about it though. Just don't feel or get too comfortable while trying to push peace, bro. Listen, one thing about it, motherfucker never let their guard down. You know how this shit, bro. Listen, you know, I don't know if you was locked up, so I did this shit 2016, bro. Motherfucker patched me, nigga. Like my no more. So imagine folks was already doing the pushing peace shit, and he done got shot for this shit. So I got shot already. That take a lot for him to still even be trying to move like this, kid. And I got discouraged after that. Hey, fuck me a lot. Fuck this shit, nigga. Fuck these niggas. But at the end of the day, gang, I should have stood strong upon my 6, man. For real. And what we gonna have is, you gonna have all these motherfuckers that's going against it and shit. Like, you got motherfuckers in the comments laughing like shit, funny. Like they want motherfuckers to keep doing this shit. You see what I'm saying? Like I paid attention to shit. Like, when we did even just talk about this shit. You got motherfuckers the bloggers trying to throw up old beef shit, old shit you said to try to spark shit back up. They don't want us to do this shit. You know why? That ain't the bloggers. That ain't nobody but the government. They want a motherfucker to keep on this shit, man. And the people that sitting back and laughing, gang, they think our life is a video game. When we die, gang, ain't no coming back, bro. You gotta think about it. If we stop this shit, they not making no.
They think our life is a video game, but we keeping score, right? So we treating it like a game. So they treating us like a game, and we know damn well it ain't a game. And one thing everyone could agree with is that we tired of the killing. Even worse of the killers is tired of they people getting killed. I mean, somebody, unless they got no heart, but most of these niggas got a heart. No matter how hard it is, they still got a heart. They still love. They don't want to see nothing happen to their loved ones or their kids, right? Their children. So that's really where it started. No matter how hard you are, will you do it for your children? Will you change things for your children? Will you choose what somebody else is going to feel, you know what I'm saying, over the opportunity to catch the wave of peace, of Shalawam? We talking about a covenant. We talking about King David, right? I think that's an interesting correlation. We talk King David, right? We talk Prester John. And that's a big part, with one of their cons, man, who, gave him the instructions, man. He go by the David title, right? So, they talking about putting it on the 6 points, right? They're talking about the Star David, right? So, yeah, I mean, it's a lot of ways to break it down. I'm just saying they're not far off in the frequency. All it takes is a little adjustment, and these Nagas are starting to make that turn that can affect the whole world because he's right. Everybody is watching. I'm watching. Callie's watching. Everybody's watching. And we know they're watching us too, you know what I'm saying, with how we gonna move. And, so rest in power Nipsey Hussle, because that took a lot out of these Nagas' hearts, man, when that happened out here in LA, you know what I'm saying? So whenever someone rises up around us, bang, something happens. And it's always a mystery because anyone talking unity, no matter what they say he's on and from and this and that, he's uniting. I mean, you saw the 8 trays with the neighborhood rolling 60s. That's unity. You know what I'm saying? That's unity for your ass. That's as united dang near as it gets. So we saw glimpses of it. We know that it ain't continue how we want in terms of the treaties, peace treaties and all that. But you got to keep at them, right? You got to keep, opening the door for your children, or else they gonna walk through a world of closed doors. Why?
No money. So now look. We got MEMO though. I see MEMO right there. Let's start up. Kiddo, would you do a whoop with MEMO? Cause now folks under the Pushin Peace Act right now, so it hit different. Would you do a whoop with folks? Now some real shit. Folks said where his head was at, folks. We ain't gonna keep pressuring them about it, Nah, I was asking because it be different strokes for different folks. You know, what him and John Wick got going on could be different from what him and MEMO600 got going on. Right. Just like Lil Richie just said, he said he'd do it. Depends on the person. Depending on who it is, folks. It hit different. You know that.
Yeah. Well, I've been on live too long, you feel me? I love you, individuals. Just make sure y'all be smooth, you
He ain't budging, man. But I love the bro Kiddo because, he's standing on what he's standing on. Which means that, if a Naga like this starts pushing peace and stand on it the same way he's standing on, like being on his own flow, whatever that is, they ask him, man, look, man, how about, doing it with MEMO600? You know what I'm saying? He's like, look, man, I've been live too long. Gotta go. Damn. But it shows us, what we're dealing with in a good way, though. Because it ain't like he said no. He just said he had to go. Hey.
All right, man. I'm gonna put MEMO on it, man. What MEMO? Yeah. So I think, with that being said, I think folks will do one with Memo, huh? What that mean? Yeah, he ain't say no. Right, he ain't say no. That's how I was looking at the
He
world.
ain't say
See
no.
it different. Like with certain people, bro, it's gonna take time, bro. That shit take time. You know what I'm saying? Like folks just get out. You know what I'm saying? Fresh feelings, fresh energy. Like yeah, you gotta understand. He got a lot of. You know what I'm saying? He's still grieving. Memo still got grieving shit going on.
Thing, guy.
You never know. He probably never got past that shit, being in jail, losing multiple homies. You know, shit be different for
Big
certain
G
people.
now.
Hell yeah.
Hey, they talk about he ain't say no.
Hey, hold on. It's gonna hit different. They gonna be on the internet now. We whooping. We whooping right
I'm
now.
chilling. Don't put me in nothing. I'm chilling. We cool and we bullin'. How y'all remember that?
Mimo, we pushing positivity, gang. You know, whatever they gonna be on, they gonna talk about it, because this is something different.
I don't give a fuck about nobody talking. I know I do.
Still, that's
Oh,
why
yeah. What's up, though? How y'all bum?
nah, look, I'm trying to see how motherfuckers put this shit together, folks. We trying to figure out how we can put the whole city on one song and put this shit together to make sense for folks.
Send them verses around. Look, don't
Everybody got
overdo it,
money,
yeah.
folks, so they really up there. We ain't gonna. It's certain steps you gotta take to this shit, folks. You can't just jump straight into that, folks. You
My
gotta
mama,
see
that's
what.
why I said, send them verses around. Y'all just get a motherfucker put through, blood.
Yeah, niggas just gotta chop it up off camera and off this internet shit to see what niggas is at. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's gonna be the nigga.
And that's trill right there, is that it's not all going to be televised. You know what I mean? Like, I do like that you got to televise some of the journey to get to the piece so that that wave can spread. You know what I'm saying? And it could be cool again to love your brother. It ain't been cool in a long time, but they still love their brothers, right? They still love their crews, their cliques, their gangs, their hoods, their tribe. They still love they, but we so sectioned off that it ain't really been cool to love all your bros. You know what I mean? Of course, it goes back, to the more and more war, right? It goes back to black on black way back. I always make it real clear, you know what I mean? I'm not just talking about black people uniting and this, because black people have never united. I know, it's crazy, right? But show me the time period that all black people got along. All people considered black got along. All tribes got along. Nah, this is biblical tribal war. That's why we keep talking about King David. This goes back to the Moabites and the Jebusites and the Israelites. This goes back to the tribal wars. You know what I'm saying? Cain and Abel, brother on brother, right? We've been having this. So I'm not asking Nagas to do some miraculous act that has never ever been done before. I'm just like, our tribe that is returning feels the vibe. And for those, they need to know that it's cool to feel this vibe. Those that are our tribe, you know what I mean, that's feeling the vibe, but maybe they just feel like it ain't cool. Maybe that's just, they don't even know like this time can really exist. Like they don't even know this lane can exist. Like a lot of Nagas, have seen lanes open up just from becoming a Khan, a priest again, a researcher, you know, a, a business person, entrepreneur. Like you've opened up a whole new portal to pop off in different ways than you thought you could ever pop off. And some of my Nagas are reaching these portals, man. Be patient, because you're gonna reach a flow, and we got more doors to walk through, right? We got more portals to pop off together, man. But this is one of them that we gotta allow to take center stage, man. The call for unity, regardless of if every Naga's gonna feel it or not, has to still be put out there. This has to be our conversation more than Prester John. You know what I'm saying? The call for unity in LA, the call for unity in San Diego, the call for unity in Sacramento, in the Bay, Oakland, Richmond, you know what I mean? Vallejo, the call for unity everywhere has to be put out. We're not saying everybody gonna get down with it, but a few of my good Nuggets gonna get up with it. We gonna bug up together, man. We gonna pop off, and that's gonna make it cool, for everyone who's supposed to be surfing the wave. You know what I mean? And all it takes is a few to surf this wave to make a change. You want enough Nagas to bug up, right? To make it cool, right? To surf the wave, to make the change. It don't take all black people. Black don't exist. I'm talking to my tribe, right? And all tribes that's rocking with the tribes, under the code of not killing, not stealing, putting our most high over everything. We think that's cool. I don't think that's biblical. I don't think that's religious. I think not putting a power before your source, your creator, is a common sense tactic for survival, my nigga. Or else you're disconnected from your power, man. You dig? Not killing your own tribe, it's a common sense tactic for survival, my nigga. And these niggas that's on this street, 63rd or O Block or this or that, they all the same family. They know they're the same tribe. A lot of my niggas in LA that's on this street or that street, man, they know they tribe. You got niggas in Inglewood that's living on the borderline of Inglewood and, you know what I'm saying, Crenshaw and all that. They got family that's red, they got family that's blue, they got, they right there. Like, they know they family. They know they tribe. So I'm not saying tribe up with all black people. I'm saying tribe up with tribe, man. And tribe, we gotta stop killing each other. Whether, they just putting the word out and some of these niggas ain't having it, Memo 600, Memo 600, man. You know what I'm saying? He might not be having it right now. 051 Kiddo might not be having it right now. Rest in power, 051 Melly, man. Rest in power, King Von, right? Yeah, man. Rest in power to all the cons, man. Rest in power, Brick, man. FBG Brick. Rest in power, FBG Duck, my nigga, right? Rest in power, all these cons, man. So many. I can go on and on. And I can go right here to my neighborhood and really start popping off with names after names after names, man. I know you can do the same thing. We tired of the killing. We got to do it for the children. And this frequency is a wave. And this wave is cool. It's the coolest thing smoking, the hottest thing smoking. Because with unity, guess what comes? Your land, man, your land back. With code comes your power back. Your dragons are flying. That's the coolest thing to give your wife, your children, mothers and fathers and, cousins, and just to give your people, your friends, your people, just to give them paradise again. But you've been so used to living like we living. And when they came here, we weren't living like this. We can go back to the 1776 Chickamauga Wars. We weren't living like this. Yeah, we had ops. Yeah, it was tribal war, but it wasn't like this. With guns blasting each other like, come on, man. This is the worst. Man, we in the worst. We in the end of days, right? We in the end of days. Man, so I pray for my Nagas, man, out here in the shy, man. I'm going to let them wrap it up, man, but I pray for my Nagas all across the earth plane, in America, outside of America, wherever you are, in the UK. Shout out to my Nagas in the UK, all throughout Africa, Australia, my Nagas, Europe, everywhere you at. We pray for all my Nagas, man. Canada, what it do. We all the same, man, right? And we all hear this vibe, and this vibe is cool, man. It's cool to push Shalawam. Let's go.
Because that's willing to do it, and then when we do it, we just fuck
But
that
half of niggas don't even know each other, like, like I know
Yeah.
you. I know you, yo. I don't really know J, man. I seen you back in the day a couple times over there before number. Nah, I know shit like that, little miscellaneous shit that'll spark the little shit up. But put it like this, I feel like on some real shit, it's about it's really deeper than that, folks. Because like I say, this shit bigger than us, folks. So it's really about what the world perceive of us and our hoods and our names being together. You see what I'm saying? So just with that being said, gang, that shit gonna mean a lot, and I know that shit gonna break everything, folks, on the guys. So they ain't never say nothing. A motherfucker say they want to say, man. Motherfucker see that shit happening. Nigga might not say nothing, but I guarantee you, niggas gonna feel this shit, bro. Nah, they gonna say something, folks. And if you going against it, who gonna say what? A motherfucker who ain't in the field that got losing nobody that ain't got shit going on. We don't give a fuck about what they say. We lose and not them, gang. And at the end of the day, this whole nigga that's on here that never cared about nobody thing. I can say I'm one, no J, brother. Man never gave a fuck. I never gave a fuck. Rooga never gave a fuck. And not even no female never gave a fuck. Like people that never worried about what they homies think. And for everybody that's wondering, you know what I'm saying, why me and MEMO, chopping it up like what motherfuckers don't know is, like, I done been around folks' mama, you feel me? Seeing her pain, like seeing her cry behind this shit, like, I got to see this shit from a different angle, you feel me? I seen folks' mama cry behind this shit, bro. You feel me? You know, I tell them motherfuckers, my mama met MEMO mama. You feel me? Like, they hugged and cried together. This shit real. Shit. If our mama could do that shit, why the fuck we can't? You get what I'm saying, bro? Look who the fuck we hurting, bro. We ain't hurting nobody but our OGs and
straight up
family behind this shit.
Straight up.
Nothing,
straight up.
Nah, real.
That's it right there.
That's why I be calling everybody fans, gang. I don't give a fuck what nobody thinks. Say none of that shit.
Wow.
So what's the difference between a coach?
Come on, Hijack. Come on, man. You know, you need to coach yourself, man, on how not to be such a hijack, man. I promise you, man. Nothing but a hijack. Hey, man. Hey, out to the cons, man. And we see y'all working, man. It's the good work right here. It's the real good work, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't even need no book in your hand or nothing. You know what I'm saying? You just got to express yourselves, man. And, you know, you expressing yourselves, you know what I mean? We're seeing how you navigate, and yeah, you know, it's going to be, you know, a lot of, you know, trying to wash this out, you know what I'm saying? Trying to turn y'all into characters instead of, you know, just real righteous cons, you know, popping off. And you're going to have to find that balance as, you know, okay, I ain't going to let them turn me into someone that's, you know, unapproachable, you know what I'm saying? Someone that no one really cares about their opinion no more, right? You know, so you want to stay at a place that, you know what I mean, you can still reach those young Nagas, you know what I'm saying, without any hijack, you know what I mean? So I know y'all working it out and y'all right there in the trenches, you know, right there where we at. And man, I applaud y'all, man. I salute you guys, man. I know you taking flack from people for this. You know what I mean? Any of my Nagas that's, you know, picking up that flag of peace, that covenant of Shalawam, that you know, Ezekiel 37, man, covenant of peace that we got last time, man. Go get that drop. Man, Shalawam, we salute you as well, man. You know, we're gonna keep surfing it, man. You know, we know our children are returning. Whether you consider yourself the house of Dawid, we're talking David, right? Because it's one clear king. You know, they talk a lot about King Dawid, but you know, really, you know, this is where the frequency, you know, this is where the source is happening at. This is where HaWah is putting a shepherd to provide, you know, for the flock, the land, the security, you know, those things that a shepherd does, you know what I mean? No one is proclaiming to be that one shepherd, you know what I mean? That's all for HaWah to reveal, you know what I'm saying? We are searching for Preston, the priest king, Preston John. You know what I mean? We are searching for the priest king, Preston John. Yeah, he keeps popping up in our investigation, man. Some say he's King David, you know. So the shepherd comes when the flock is ready. There's no point in having a shepherd if the flock is all over the place and They just on demon time. The shepherd can't do nothing but be a martyr, right? Because these people ain't ready. But when the flock is ready, when they on HaWah time, when they on existence time, they choose life, they choose existence. Hey man, outside of them ice rings, the press to pull up. You know what I'm saying? Hop through a vortex on you, man. Oh who? Who's Prester John? Yeah, we're gonna get back on it, man. Look out for Prester 1. We're at 125 all the way live. Something like that, man. Yeah, we're just looking for these Nagas. Holding up the two cross sticks from Ezekiel 37 coming back together. Oh, Pretere, Pretiani, Ethiopia. They all know that this is a Naga. That's crazy because they also call him an Oriental or something, right? What they call him, an Oriental? Did I go too far? Oh, let's go. Oh, hold on. Yeah, I went too far. Don't they call him an Oriental, man? The story of the mysterious Oriental leader. Come on, man. Oriental. So Managa, you Oriental. You the Asians. Remember the maps, man. Where's Asia? Right. America is Asia. Greater Asia. Gotcha. And this is what they found in the Far East. This is an Oriental who ruled a land teeming with marvels. Ooh, we blew marveling. And might come to the aid of Christians. So they didn't say he's a Christian right off the bat. They said he's a priest king, Prester John, right? Prester means priest, John means king, who ruled a land teeming with marvels. Gotcha. And you telling me in the British Museum, circa 1530, there's a land called Prester John? That's South America. Notice they didn't call this North America, because some would call it the land of Prester John. India, superior, boss. Mexico, India, superior, Prester John. Yeah, yeah, man. Showing connection between Marco Polo's Asian and the new lands. These supposed to be the new lands, but it's the land of Prester John. Prester John. Prester John. The mysterious Orient. See, this is what we searching for, my young Nagas. You know what I'm saying? This is what we talking about. What did they find when they pulled up in America? So while we talking about blood, crip, GDBD, folk, and vice lords, right? Well, while we talking all these things that we in, when they pulled up here, this is what they found you in. This is why they got you fighting each other. This is why every time a Naga rises up like Nipsey Hussle let them wings grow. He gonna hit us with that free flow. Hitting Crenshaw in a green low. KTC, that mean keep the code. Prester John. In America, 1530. Columbus sails the ocean blue 1492. Brings a Hebrew interpreter and finds you. Did he get lost in India, or did he go to India? Superior, boss. He's looking for the Grand Khan. He got some type of message he's passing to the Grand Khan of China. Where's China? Same place as Cathay. Cathay, which Marco Polo called China, boss. Mexico is China. This is the land of Prester John. And they found a bunch of Nagas that look just like you. They've been writing about the Prester. Been writing, lots of letters back and forth, confirming This ain't no play. Our Lord King David ordered us to enter the land in this way or not at all. But if you will not allow it, we will turn back. This was told to the Caliph, who said they could enter as they wished. When the Caliph saw him, he immediately received them honorably, rising up to greet them, and having them sit next to him, the messenger spoke to him through an interpreter on behalf of their Lord, saying, Our King David greets you and informs you that our La Follette, almost look like JPEG, that is the patriarch, greatly commends you to him because you always had a sincere heart towards Christians. Oh man, stop the hijack. And honored our churches, and for this reason he is conceded to you 1/6 part of the land you hold, and he wants to have Baghdad so that the seat of our patriarch might be there. The Caliph said to them, The king by divine strength has subdued to himself so much territory, and he cannot be everywhere in person. He must set up his stewards throughout the conquered lands. I therefore ask humbly that he make me his steward in this land, and I will give to him as much money as he wants. The messenger said, We do not come to obtain money, rather because we have heard that you ordered the holy city of Jerusalem to be demolished. We are taking enough money with us to rebuild the walls of that city with gold and silver. In addition to this, he offered the messengers gifts to the value of 100,000 bezants, which the messenger refused to accept. Meanwhile, it happened that Melvikalim, the Sultan of Babylon, had sent to the Caliph as a gift certain Christian knights which he had freed at the prayers of the messengers. Some of these came from them to Antioch, who told these and other rumors that when King David arrived at the land which is called Kazvim, which he made his subject, he dismissed his steward there with a few of his men, and turning his back on the land, a man of that city killed the king's steward and some of his family members. When this came to the king's attention, he sent part of his people to lay siege to the land. It was besieged for 6 days. On the 7th day, in the middle of the night, 3 of the aforesaid cities' towers fell, and 6 cubits of bricks from the walls, and the Christians entered that land and killed 80,000 fighting men. Naga, is it play? Or is this his story? Is this a part of history? I belly flop. You know me. This is the letter. I really belly flop. Let's get it. I just like to get the intros because they give us some drop. Oh yeah, we got a Khan, the king of the Persians. Questioned them about this, if they knew of any such king of those provinces who was called David. So they looking for David. They said they knew of no one who was called by such a name. However, King Israel, this is a letter. These are real letters, all right? So King Israel had a very small son who was called David, who was of no importance. Then the aforementioned king said to his astrologers, Let us send word to his brother so that he may send him to us. And in this way, let us kill him, and we will free ourselves from his name. Because they was getting reports that some boy is going to be born by the name David, who's going to usurp him as this king of Persia, or king, what they call the Babylonian exilarchs. The exilarchs are the Israelite kings during these captivities. And we're talking Persians, right? Kankana was his name. I'm belly flopping, right? David's brother. So for that reason, he sent his messengers to David's brother, the king of India. India what? We still talking India Superior? We still talking India Superior, boss? So I'm saying all this what you're saying in Kankana and Persia is happening in India Superior, which they now call North America, But in the British Museum 1530, these lands were not called North America. It's India Superior, which lets you know that there's an India Inferior, boss. Kankana. So they wanted to kill little David. Wow. Don't that sound a lot like the Jesus story, boss? He had to go hiding and nah, man, they cloud chased the crap out of David's name. Now he's son of David. He's, this sacrifice, man. They was trying to, we're talking about Naga. This is already happening. Even this river is called John, like Prester John. Look to the Templar, whether you spell it with a G-E-O-N or a John. You still got a king, right? So the aforementioned king of the Persians called together with his astrologers, asked them to predict the future and tell him what was going to happen after his death. As is their custom, they took a virgin boy and having cut off both his arms, they collected his blood. Damn, hijacked city for real. Collect his blood in a vase and implored him to foretell the future. The boy, before he had died, foretold everything to them. Wow, so whatever cutting off his arms did, it gave them the future. All right. Indeed, he said that a certain king, David by name, a very noble man, would make the kingdom of the Persians his subject. So before they try to put a Christian title on him, he's just a mystical Oriental. Remember that we're talking David, right? So ever since he was a boy, he was a target, just like the Bible, right? Just like the go back in this, 2 Samuel, 1 Samuel flow. You know what I mean? Like David had to overcome a lot as a young one, right? And this is giving you some more connection. I mean, we are talking King Israel, so don't say we ain't talking biblical. Might not. There was after young David. Yeah, man. I'm reading out of the Relatio de David, first version in the Press of John, Legend and its Sources by Keegan Brewer. Man, we're talking the Fifth Crusade, Crusade Text 27. Love to the Battle family for sending this to me, man. And Ty Battle for making this PDF. And don't worry, the Drop Library, the website will be back up and Dewada, because, man, we had to really, put some motion, into putting our walls back up, making sure we can rebuild our walls in gold and silver this time so they can't keep hijacking our flow, man. But look at this intro, man. That's why I love the intros. Now, this letter is dated back 1220. Remember, King David goes to war with Genghis Khan in 1202, according to many historical texts that we got throughout the years. So this historical war between King David or Prester John happened 1202, something like that. After that, Genghis Khan steals the Prester John title. So you got other figures in history named Prester John that are really in the Genghis Khan line because they stole the title Prester. He stole the title King David. So you got these Davids popping up later. Oh, this David might be a hijack because this David is now Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan is now hiding under the tent of King David, Prester John, all this stuff. Grand Khan, all this. He just wants the Khan, right? He wants to be a Khan. And remember, he belonged to Prester's family. Prester had him as like a foster son, Him and Genghis Khan's father were linked in, tied in, But Genghis Khan wanted more. He wanted more from the Prester. He wanted the Prester's daughters in marriage. The Prester denied it. Genghis Khan took it to heart. He wants to be a David so bad he went to war against his uncle, basically. You know what I mean? Basically like a father figure. And it was the greatest world war you never heard about, right? Story still hasn't fully been told. So this Genghis Khan Prester John relationship is real intertwined, just like GDBD, Bloods and Crips. Like they was part of the same tribe, you know. They were all linked in once upon a time. So now we are still going through this returning to try to put our tribe back together from even situations like this where a big, great divide happened. Now, I'm not even, this is what they call extra biblical. Like, I'm not even reading a biblical story per se for you to understand that this is a biblical situation or a Hebrew more and more war happening, right? This is historical. This is just not Bible jargon. This is what the Prester John has really been bringing out to us. It's a it's a historical figure and sometimes broken up into many different historical figures, and we gotta weave, bob and weave. We gotta navigate. We gotta get the babies out the bathwater. We gotta use discernment. Every Prester John ain't the Prester John. Every King David ain't the King David. A lot of hijacks hiding in the tents of our ancestors. Now it says this text or confused text. Anytime they say confused text, it's somebody trying to shape our mind before we even get a chance to read it. Don't worry. The author's confused. Don't worry. This confused text. Nah, man. This translation, Latin translation of what is thought to be a tract originally written in Arabic by a Christian in Baghdad, 1221. But some of the material here was certainly added by its Latin translators. So whenever you keep hearing about this Christian situation, a lot of this was added by these Latin translators. They Christianized Prester John. Or they put some type of stank on his name, put some type of smut on his name. This is what these Latin translators did after they found this material that they said was originally written in Arabic about what the Prester was putting down with the king of Persia in there. It describes, in essence, the conquest of Genghis Khan, but instead he is presented as a Christian king named David. So when we belly flop, we heard about this Christian king named David and all these things. That wasn't even the Prester John or the David. That's Genghis Khan hiding in the tent. And they're calling him a Christian king, David, because look at the dates. This took place about 18 years after the invasion of Genghis Khan on the people and the land of Prester John. After the Genghis Khan invasion, that's when they came up Columbus, and then a couple of 100 years later, like it all, it all connects. All of it. It's a track record that they put down of invasion after invasion after invasion, all the way up to the 1776 Chickamauga, which leads us directly to where we're at right now. All the way up. All this is connected. I didn't call it Prester John by Naga. They put Prester John by Mexico. They put Prester John by Mexico. So I'm doing this for my young Nagas. They might be seeing this for the first time because they saw something about 051 Kiddo. Or they saw something about Rooga. Or they saw something about King Yella. Or FYBJ Man. Maybe they saw something about MEMO600. I said MEMO600. Is it MEMO or MEMO? Man, y'all let me know. But hey, I love all these ox. I love all these bros. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I got to bring it to the root. Like, we're all a part of this history. This is not what they're going to teach you in school. And I know my Nagas is very bright, very intelligent. You know a fake when you see a fake, and you know real when you see real. You know the truth is in the vibration. And you know the vibration is law. And law is vibration. And keeping the code raises our frequency because it raises our vibration. Because look, you got to be able to see clearly. That's what your vibration do. You can see clearly. You got your dragon. You can see that Genghis Khan be hiding in the tent of David in history after a certain point. So most of the legit Prester stuff is happening before 1202. Just keep that in your mind bone. Because afterwards, Genghis Khan has taken the title Khan, taken the title David, and taken the title Prester. And ain't nobody saying Genghis Khan ain't real. So the Prester's real and David's real. And that's a body bag for the illusion. copy of this text and its second version, which were circulating widely 1220, 1221, made their way to Jacques de Vitry in Egypt on the Fifth Crusade. Is that play? And although the text does display some intimate knowledge of the initial movements of the Mongols, the details became so distorted by the time they reached the Crusaders that those initial facts became grossly misunderstood. So we can't tell fact from fiction now, right? And remember, the Mongols just means the great ones. So don't disassociate yourself with the term Mongols. It's just like Moors. It just means great. They just want to have all these titles, but I take them all back. Because you can't get no more or great than the code and the nine code specifically. Putting the most high over everything, you can't get more than that. You can't get greater than that. You can't get more Mongol than that. The details became so distorted by the time they reached the Crusaders that those initial facts became misunderstood, grossly misunderstood. Many places, place names occur in the text. I have preserved their original forms as in Zarnik's edition, and then given my interpretation in parentheses where they require close discussion. A footnote is given. We're going to get back on the Prester John investigation. We're going to get back in a Voynich manuscript, my Naga, another one of the greatest mysteries of all time. I mean, we talk about all of them: Cities of Gold, Atlantis, Voynich manuscripts, Prester John, all the drop. Really, we seek HaWah. I mean, that's one of the greatest, investigations you can be on is seeking HaWah. That's when you return. You go on many days without a king. You've been in solitary. You know what that is, Naga, right? That means you ain't got no motion. Can't get visitation. No one can help you. And this is how it's been for our community. No one can help us. No one can really see us through for a time. Anybody who tried, they lit their spark, but for whatever reason, what I mean. But now, all of y'all are seeing clearly. All of y'all together. So the unity is a must. And these unity talks and discussions, regardless of what time they're really on, I don't know. I can't confirm or deny. But I like the talk of it. And I think all my Nagas is tired of the killing. We've been solitary many days, sitting down. We ain't been running. We ain't been flying. We've been sitting solitary many days without a con, man. Right? So when I talk king to you, it's crazy talk. I'm talking kingdom, man. We understand the Most High is our king. But the Most High, himself, Amma herself, rocks with an anointed Khan. Psalms 89. Read it clearly. Read Psalms 89 clearly. Come back to Hosea 3. Go to Jeremiah 30. Come back to Hosea 3. Go to Ezekiel 34. Come back to Hosea 3. Go to Ezekiel 37. Come back to Hosea 3. Did you see clearly? Then read the entire Zechariah. You really gonna pop up, man. Love to come fresh, man. So we spend many days without us talking about our royalty. We don't got no images like this walking in our streets, my Naga. They destroyed our noble image. We don't got this no more. So these kings coming together, man, Chicago, LA, Sacramento, everywhere, man. The Wada for bringing our nobility back. Because you don't got to dress like this to be a noble. But what you're talking about is noble. And I'm sorry, man, I had to give y'all, the raw rap. And I know they, threw some words around that you got to put the kiddies aside, but we got to let 051 Kiddo pop off, man. We got to let these cons pop off. They're not cursing you. Those are cuss words, but that's not a curse word. They're not, putting hate on you or nothing. So ain't nobody cursing you. They're just cussing. All right, I got it. All right. They ain't got no power in them words. There's power in having a shepherd. Because you've gone a long time without a king or a prince, right? Without all your noble priesthood and any of that stuff. But afterwards, and there is an afterwards, right? This is what we're talking about. This is why these cons are pushing peace. That there's an afterwards, that you will return, my Naga. And that's a big thing. That means you are listening, that you are seeking the code. You are seeking HaWah again, right? My Naga, for the dismount. For the dismount. You heard me this far, my Naga, just hear me, for the next 7 minutes, for the dismount. We out of here. When you seek the Creator, that means you're listening to Amma, Abba, Framer, Shaper. You're listening to Mama. You're listening to Daddy. You listening. You seeking. You want to know. You're seeking. You're listening. You can't seek without listening. We got to read, right? To get some knowledge, we got to try to figure things. We got to listen. We don't got to believe everything, but we have to at least listen. For them cons to sit down and unite, they got to listen to each other. They ain't got to believe everybody and everything, but they should at least be able to sit down, because they already been sitting down in solitary many days. They're talking about a King David, but they should be talking about HaWah, right? They should be talking about Dawid that comes, because HaWah put Dawid in your path. Two cross states coming back together. You return, seek the Creator and King David. We're just talking King David, right? Rule number one, man, I'm HaWah, right? I brought you out of bondage. You shall have no other gods before me, my Naga. We can get through this, not around it, through this and code up and put away all these false gods to this day and all these religions and churches and mosques and this and that. I know we feel like we need all that, but Naga, we don't need to be walking around no cubes. We don't need to be going to church on a Sunday. We need to put our power first. KTC, keep the code. No part of this Exodus 20 tells you to go to church on Sunday or walk around no cubes. It says don't murder, no adultery, no stealing. Honor your frame and your shaper. Keep the Shabbat. 6 days you work. Seventh day is a rest day. Don't do no work. Fall back. Anybody that work for you, give them a break. HaWah's going to baruch you. Don't take HaWah's name in vain, because you don't want no vain breath and you don't want no vain security, my God. That goes against existence. So no other power before me. Don't make no other images, graven images, right? Meaning that you're worshiping them. In other words, no other power before me. That's rule number one. Rule number two, no vanity. Don't say HaWah said to do this, HaWah said to do that. Don't use HaWah's name in vain, right? I had a dream and the Creator told me, we can't confirm or deny that you actually spoke to the Creator or that the Creator's even rocking with you. Don't use HaWah's name in vain. Rule number three, keep the Shabbat. Can we do it so far? Can we have no other power before the Creator? I'm not talking religious. Can we as a community have no other gods before the Creator? Because Creator is jealous, as a mother and father would be, because you are the children. No vanity. We don't want a vain breath. No more vain security. Rule number three, we can rest on the seventh day. That doesn't say go to church or a mosque. It says to rest. No manner of work. It's a lot of work sometimes to go to church. Driving here, dressing, getting dressed, rushing everybody out. And then you go eat after that and you spend all this money. You're supposed to just be chilling. Just rest. Prepare your food the night before, the day before, and rock out, man. Just rest. The rule number four, can we honor our father and mother? Can we as a community do these things? Not religion. The code. One, no other gods. Two, no vanity. Three, a Naga. Rest on the seventh day. 4, honor your father, your mother. 5, no murder. So we can't be on that time if you're seeking HaWah. This is what the cons are talking about. If they got to make a song first, they got to make a song first, but let's stop murdering each other for our kids' sake, for our children's sake. No adultery, no more mixing in with no fake ass frequencies. Keep your oath, man and woman, tribe, keep your oath. Number 7, don't steal. Number 8, don't bear false witness. If you're not a witness to it, don't speak on it. Ain't that the street rules too? And number 9, no covetous. That means, man, I want whatever my neighbor got, whatever my brother got, his wife, his car, I want it so bad I want to take it from him. Not like, oh, he's inspiring me to be better. No, I want what he got, or I want what she got. Sisters, you do it too, right? If we get the covetous out of our heart, that's what we call the 9 code. They call it 10 commandments because they split up the first commandment into 2. No other gods, and then they say, don't make nothing in the likeness of anything, and now that's 2 things. No, that's all the same transgression. No other powers. Don't hijack yourself with no other power. Don't bow down to no graven images. That's 1. That's 1. All this is 1. You know what's separate transgression, right? Vanity. Now that's separate. Not keeping your Shabbat. Number 3, that's separate. Not honoring your father and mother above your frame and your shaper. That's separate. Rule number 6, or excuse me, rule number 4, don't murder. Rule number 5, no adultery. Rule number 6, rule number 6, no stealing. Rule number 7, no false witnesses. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it again. Rule number 1, no power for your power. Rule number 2, no vanity. Rule number 3, keep your Shabbat. Rule number 4, honor your father and mother. Rule number 5, shall not murder your brother. Rule number 6, no adultery. I'm going to keep your oaths, my Nagas. Rule number 7, thou shalt not steal. This makes sense. Any community you build in, they should keep these rules if you want a frequency up. Rule number 8, do not bear false witness. Don't speak on anything you did not actually see or witness, or don't just go off with assumption and start spreading no rumor on nobody. Somebody can get hurt like that. So that's a very strong transgression. Rule number 9, thou shalt not covet your neighbor's house. Whatever he got, he got. Whatever she got, she got. That's when they heard the thunderings. That's when they saw the lightnings. That's when they heard the voice of the horn. The mountain smoking, it's popping off. Everybody's trembling. They say, yo, Moses, you go handle that because we are afraid of these dragons popping off. This is the 9 code. We do this as a community. We won. Like Natural said, we already won. Because I know you're going to do it. Because what's your other best option? This is what the cons is trying to, get through to, everybody. Like, where do we go from here? We just let it keep riding like this without doing nothing. Pushing peace is cool, my Naga. Pushing Shalawam is cool because we all about the covenant. We all about the covenant, right? So we got to be about the covenant of peace if we're going to push peace. So I like what my Nagas is rocking with. I just want to, make sure they are equipped when they talk peace. You got the covenant of peace right there, you know what I'm saying? Right there in your pocket, my Naga. When you talk peace and you talk King David, 37. When you talk King David, when you talk covenant of peace, you can refer to. It's a real thing. This is a beautiful, man. We come back to it all the time. We got it last time with the Valley of Dry Bones, right? And just like we're talking about gangs coming together or GDBD, Crips and Bloods and all that coming together, We're talking about making one stick. He's talking to Ezekiel, man. Behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, right? That's the northern tribe, which is in the hand of Ephraim and the tribes of Israel, his companions. So gang, right? I will take this gang, because they all the same family, and I will put unto him together with the stick of Judah, right? Because Judah is also one of the tribes of Israel, right? Southern tribes and northern tribes, making them one stick. Unity. That is you returning. That is the moral to the story of the whole Bible or Quran. It's the tribes coming back in code with the Creator. It's the tribe coming back together again. Whether they call themselves GDs or whether they call themselves BDs, Bloods, Crips, and anything, man. I'm also talking to all my Latino Nagas, man. Serenos, Norteños, whatever we call it. All this stuff. We need unity all the way around for all my Nagas. Because right now we in this together. Yeah, we all about finding who we are and talking about that, but we in it together, my Naga. Make no mistake about it. I rock with all my Nagas. If you a real one, you a real one, no matter what you look like, no matter what you call yourselves. If you real, you real. I rock with your frequency. I've always been on that flow. You know what I'm saying? A lot of my Nagas are the same thing. That don't mean that we can't do it for our tribe, though. So don't get that twisted either. You know, we also got to make sure we're doing it for the root of the tree. You got to go back home, you know what I'm saying, to Israel. You got to go back home to Judah. You got to go back home to the uniting of the root so that the entire, you know, branches and the fruit, man, could be plentiful. And all my knockers could have a garden, right, of H3O and have it together, man. So it has to be about the unity. I just want to bring it back to it. We're talking covenant, peace. And when your children ask, because it's all about the children, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the nations where they have gone and will gather them on every side. We're talking about gathering, unifying, bring them into their own land, my Naga. Don't say these tribes ain't got their own land, man. Why they got Prester John on the map? And I will make them one nation. You're talking about having one nation back, right? BD, GD back to one. Blood Crib back to one. Norteno Sereno back to one. And the land upon the mountains of Israel. And one king. Here we go again. These are multiple witnesses, prophets, scribes, whatever you want to call it. From Ezekiel to Hosea, Jeremiah. One king shall be king to them all, and they shall be no more two nations. Neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore. Neither shall they defile themselves anymore with their idols. What? What's rule number one? No God, right? No power before me. You get back in code and stop defiling yourselves, having to go through the Son to get to the Father, and you go directly to your Creator, man. Don't defile yourselves by not going directly to HaWah. We've all been bamboozled. We've all been brainwashed. The hijack, the invader, done taught us all this stuff about their JC. The hijack, the invader, done taught us all this stuff about everything but Israel, right? Everything but who we are. Nobody comes in our hoods to save us. Nobody comes pushing peace, pushing the code, the covenant of Shalawam. Don't defile yourselves, nor with the detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions. But I will save them. Who? JC? It don't say Jesus gonna save you, man. It's Ezekiel 37, talking prophets. It says the Creator will save you. I will save them. This is why we go directly to HaWah. He didn't say if it's written that I'ma send JC, Ezekiel will be on the same JC. They done twisted the Bible up 1,000 times, but what they couldn't do, man, I think they did what they could do, but what they couldn't do is go ahead and, put that smut out of Ezekiel's mouth and say, Jesus gonna save you. I don't think they were allowed to do that. I think they had to keep it trill enough so people could, you know, feel the difference of the vibration once they were vibing high enough. I will save them. I will save them. I will save them out of all their dwelling places, wherein they have sinned, and will cleanse them. We got that water. So shall they be my people. This ain't religious. Your frame and your shaper, your mother, your father got a people, got children, literally. And I will be their power. Not the power of the hijack that invaded you, that you still calling on, that go to church on the same Sunday as you. Nah, not their power. I will be their power. And my servant David, here we go again, right? Another witness to David being king over them. This is Ezekiel 37. We just got Hosea 3. We're talking King Dawid, King David. My servant David shall be king over them, and they all shall have one shepherd. Is that one JC? Is that one Muhammad? Is that one this? Is that one Buddha? One shepherd. Who, oh, who is Prester John? Who's Prester John? Who's the priest king? Huh? Who's the priest king? Who's the shepherd? And they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob, my servant, wherein your fathers dwell. We're talking about land. And they shall dwell there, and they children. We're talking about the children, ain't we? Ain't they talking about the children? Let's make a change for the children and their children's children forever. And David, my servant, shall be their prince forever. Moreover, I will make a covenant of peace with them, and it shall be an everlasting covenant with them, and I will establish them, multiply them, and put my sanctuary in the midst of them forever. My Naga, we pushing peace. When you pushing peace, you go back and connect with the covenant of peace. And this covenant of peace is with David, who is the servant of HaWah, priest. That's how you get the priest king title. The Khan title is supposed to be a servant of the Creator, bringing his Nagas back to the code. There is no dispute on who the Khan forever is. The Christians changed it. All religions change it to their person, right? But who's the person and it's not? Who's that guy in the Tanakh? Who is forever? Who's forever? Covenant of peace. Covenant of peace. That got us talking forever. Hosea got us talking, returning, seeking the Creator, and David in the end of days. Ezekiel got us talking forever. Jeremiah got us talking about David being raised up, right? Verse 7, and last for that day is great, so that none is like it, for it is time of trouble unto Jacob. Khan, ain't we in Jacob's trouble? That's why the Khan is talking about unifying. But out of it shall he be saved. Again, not by JC, by HaWah. And it shall come to pass in that day, says HaWah, that I will break his yoke from off your neck. Man, I'm not sending Jesus to do it. I'm not sending Muhammad to do it. That's not your tribe. You're not a Mohammedan. You're an Israelite. You're a son of Judah and Jacob, Manasseh and Ephraim. The house of Israel has our own prophets. We don't need the prophets of Moab and these other prophets and their religions and their things. And whenever they bring in, Columbus and them, manifest destiny, papal bull, doomed verses, they consider us enemies of Christ. Christ is a Greek word. Christ is a Greek word which means anointed. But who is the anointed of the Greeks? I'll wait. Who's the Roman anointed? Who's the Greek anointed? Huh? Who's the Egyptian anointed? Same person. Who's the Atlantis anointed? Same person. Still talking Zeus, which means he's still talking Jesus. Jesus, because the J is a new letter. They didn't say Jesus with a J. It's a new letter. 16th century, my Naga. 17th century, my Naga. They said, Zeus, come up out of her. They brought Zeus to your shores, worshiping the sun on a Sunday. Or they brought Thoth right at your door, right? God, Naga's loving this Thoth, this king of Atlantis Thoth. Yeah, man. All Atlantis was destroyed for a reason. You worshiping false gods, dead gods. They get life through you. Who's gonna break our yoke? I will break his yoke from off your neck and will burst your bands, and strangers shall no more make him their slave. But they shall serve HaWah their power. Here we go again. The third witness. Does Jesus have three witnesses in the Old Testament? Oh, wait. Does Jesus have any witnesses in the Old Testament? Or do Christians constantly try to fit him in to Genesis and fit him in different places? Nah, man. I will break his yoke, but they shall serve HaWah their power and David their king. Whoa. Whom I will raise up unto them. Say it with me. Body bag for the illusion. Oh, yeah. For the dismount. If Christians had this scripture, this scripture would be on every bumper sticker, on every Naga going to church. If they had the Hosea 3, return, search for HaWah and King David, they would be using that all the time too. A lot of us never seen this until we started searching ourselves. Jeremiah said, whom I will raise up, David will be raised up. Back to Hosea 3. Ezekiel 37 says the covenant of peace. They pushing peace. The covenant of Shalawam is with David forever. And there's many more witnesses that connect to Dawi, as you know. We can go back to Malachi 4, connect all the Prester flow with the Elijah flow. You know what I mean? Who's this Elijah anyway? Just another Prester, disappearing in a whirlwind, doing dragon-like things, right? In a whirlwind of fire. Afterwards, the children of Israel will return. That means you are keeping the code. Exodus 20, we just got that. You got all 9, right? We can do that as a community to raise our vibe, to trust each other, and build our tribe. That is the solution, not my solution. That's the solution. Because without your code, you can't return. You can't get no shepherd if you're not seeking. And you're not seeking if you're not literally meditating on the law, the code of HaWah. Am I covetous? Every day, every thought, you got to think of that. You got to meditate on this. Am I bearing false witness? Am I putting the Creator first, most high over everything? Should I kill my brother? Should I slide? Should I be lurking? Or should I stop and return? Seek HaWah, right? Your power. and David the Khan. You can't seek David without seeking the Creator and getting in code. And when you're in code, you get on the investigation for real, for real. The water to the home team for pushing peace, pushing unity, for seeking the Creator first and surfing the wave, with the shepherd is bringing, which is that mem sauce, that water. Because we need the connection to our ancient love song. We need to be in tune. That song is in a frequency. That song is in a vibration. That vibration comes with a united nation. And you can't unite without a code. Even Genghis Khan knew that. And he's real, is real. Is you real? So your code is real. Your code is life. You keep your code, you spark life into your tribe, your shepherd. And you'll be humble. You'll come trembling. That means you are just humble. Like, I can't believe we're killing each other, man. I can't believe I wasn't going directly to HaWah this whole time. I know you love the Creator. Now let's do it right. Don't let nobody tell you the law is done away. Just keep the 9 code. Start there. Like the Khan said, we got to start somewhere. And that's a great piece of unity to unite around is our 9 code. Because we can do that. We can do it. Because our covenant of peace, Shalawam, is forever. And HaWah's goodness is forever. In these days, man. In the end of days. Tribe up. Continue to vibe up. We all we got. And, this is for our children. Before you say anything's impossible to unify around this code here, around the code we flowing in, before you say it's impossible, ask yourself, can I put the Most High over everything? No other power before the Creator. Not even money, my Naga. Can't worship that either. Moneto Juno. Juno is a god. Moneta, Juno is where they're getting money, Moneta. So when you're calling on this money, you're still calling on another god. You know to speak accurate when you bring up HaWah, your breath, your security. Don't speak in vanity. It's good to rest. You go to sleep every night, right? It's good to rest on the 7th day. Regardless of our calendar, my Naga. Just count to 6 and rest. Because every day is HaWah's day. And the unity puts us in the best frequency, no matter what. So be in unity, you know what I'm saying? Honor your father and your mother. And if you don't got an honorable father and mother to honor, then just honor Amma, honor Abba, your Creator. No more murder. No more demon time, Anagi. This is HaWah time. This is existence time for our children, right? No more mixing and jamming up our oath to our wives, to our husbands, to our children, to our tribe. No more stealing from our wives, from our husbands, from our children, from our tribe. No bearing false witness. See, it's a good thing, if someone really did something, to somebody, it's a good thing to have a witness to that so that person can be dealt with. That's not snitching. All right. Snitching has gotten clouded in what it used to be connected to. A false witness, as a tribe, you can go to your tribe to get justice. That's not snitching to go to your tribe. But once we lost our tribe and once we've been invaded, now we can only go to the popo because we don't got no elders to go to. Now going to the popo, right? That's snitching, right? Because that's the opposition for real in our neighborhoods, because that's how it's, history speaks clearly, right? So you're going to the ops to get justice, or you're going to the ops to get street justice, there's street justice and then there's police, right? And a lot of times, man, you already know what it is. So the police element made the snitching thing, but a witness is a witness. All right. A civilian, or whatever the case you want to call it now, that's how it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Somebody saw somebody hurt this little girl. You're supposed to be able to go to your elders as a real witness. But if you go as a false witness, you can get that person killed. So it's a part of our code not to be a false witness, because you don't want no wrongful justice being done by the elders, by the community. Now, when you've been invaded, you ain't supposed to talk at all, right? Because now you can't even go to the elders. You got to go to the opposition regardless, right? So now you got to take the stand and work with the opposition regardless. Now you ain't supposed to even open your mouth because you in a sad state. You in solitary. Back to Hosea 3, you've been in solitary. You don't got nobody to talk to. But when we are tribed up, we do have someone to talk to. We can go to our big homies. We can go to our elders. We can go get justice when things are happening. And it's okay to speak up as long as you ain't no false witness. That's the truth behind the code. And this covetous leads to all this other stuff. Murder comes from covetous. Jealousy leads to this. All this stuff around a woman. Everyone, what I'm saying? I mean, how much murder happened around some type of lady, right? Fellas is always fighting over a woman, right? Sisters, you already know this, right? Sometimes you do it on purpose, leading to murder. We gotta all stop this. Can't have no Jezebels, man. We can't have no hijacks, female or male. So we all gotta code up. No covetous sisters and brothers, no false witnessing sisters and brothers, no stealing from each other, sisters and brothers, no adultery, sisters and brothers. Keep your oaths. No more murder, sisters and brothers. We need to honor each other, our fathers, our mothers, sisters and brothers. We gotta rest. Remember your Shabbat, that HaWah created the earth in 6 days and rested on the seventh. It's a time to rest, and that's Baruch. No more vanity on your breath and security, sisters and brothers. And please, start right here. If you got to start anywhere else, start right here, man. No other gods before me. No images that you are praying to. Oh, I didn't say don't draw a picture of a horse. Even when you do the Paleo Hebrew alphabet. These are picto, right? So all these are images, right? The Aleph, the Ba'at, the Gam, the Dal, the Hawazan. The Creator didn't say don't draw pictures. He said don't make graven images, man. And these are things that you're making in any likeness that you do what? Bow down and worship, which goes back to no other gods before me. Those are not two separate transgressions. One leads to another. That's one thing. But a lot of these are one thing, because false witnessing leads to murder, and covetous leads to stealing, which leads back to murder, and adultery can lead to murder too. Not honoring your father and mother could lead to murder too, right? And not resting and having, you could have been resting that day instead of murdering your brother. But how many Nagas get killed on the rest day? We burnt out because we ain't resting. We burnt out, which leads to more murder, more adultery, more stealing. You having vain breath and vain security by default is going to lead to murder. Putting your power in vain, you ain't got no power. So, it's going to open up. Not being in code opens us up to everything. This Satan figure is an adversary who works for your daddy, right? Your father, your mother. The throne of HaWah needs a goon to keep Nagas in check, Nagas in place. When you out of code, You open it up to be hijacked by this Satan, right? By this adversary. But go back to the book of Job. Satan is late to the meeting. Was it Job chapter 1 or 2? He's late to the meeting. So Satan is a part of the meeting, man. He's a part of the house. But he's that goon that whips your ass when you out of code. But he works for you because he works for your father, for your mother when you in code. He works for the house. So he got to work for you. That energy, that adversary got to work for you. So make that adversary work for you. Don't work for it. You know what I'm saying? Don't do deals with it. You make it work for you by being in code. That's the realest thing I ever spoke right there, man. To my Nagas that see clearly. You in these deals, you in this music business, you in this business. Don't make these strange deals. If you in it, my Naga, keep the code. It's the best thing you could do. Because now you make it work for you. No other gods, my Naga. KTC, you know how we do. Keep our power first. We never lose. No other gods. You shall not play the harlot. No other gods. You've been solitary, sitting, solitary. No one can help you, man. You in solitary for so many days you don't even remember. You think you from Africa. You forgot that you've been fighting on this land in Shikamaga War. Cherokee War, Creek War, Choctaw War. You didn't have time to make no slave. Mexico. Copper colored race is found here. That's the definition of an American in 1828. Noah Webster's dictionary. Right? Ty Bezan, take the wheel. But one day you will return. Yeah, the children will return. It's all about the children. You will seek the Creator. Wow. And Dawi, the Khan, before you come trembling back home to Hawa's goodness in the end of days. Oh, who's Prester John? King David plays heavy. To my Chi-Town Nagas, King David plays heavy. Wakey, wakey. To all my Nagas across the plain, clearly, King David plays heavy. The covenant of Shalawam is our code, our covenant. Our code leads to our covenant being renewed, reborn. You know, it's all about renewal. The dragon is all about renewal, rebirth. You seeing dragonflies? It's all about rebirth. Yeah, this ain't no metaphysics, man. This is your ancestry. This is the code, you know, of this earth realm, this plane. King David is the king of the earth plane, man. Inside the rings and outside the ring. We code up, man. We winning again. We already won. Take the water to the cons, man, and keep unifying, keep the water flowing, and keep the fire burning. Halal HaWah.